We're just getting set up with live stream down here.
Yeah. You put down our.
Yep.
So I'm sitting in the alleyway.
That's
Well, I've got to feed their 6.
God, he's laid out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that.
I didn't count that.
I just saw him laid out. Finished. On your time.
So limited, Andrew, this is I should. Oh, you do.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? And then this is Krista. Krista from the
My bad. No ticket.
right?
Very nice.
He hates myself.
I thought it was 85.
My
You
bad.
told me 91.
Nice child.
Yeah.
We are not. Are we live already? Oh, for real?
We can mute it though if you want.
I was going to see everything around there too, so.
I went over the hill. Turned white.
There's something missing. Like you see it there, but it's not yet. It should be just in case. This is weird.
Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Somewhere.
He's over there. Get
Yeah.
some. Give me.
Joe Schlimmer and Branson
This guy.
and Phoebe Reed and all the rest of them. What? Next year? Yeah. Yeah, he's all like. He just turned 14. You have to be 15. Yeah. Yeah. So he has to wait for 4 years, which is good because he used this year. I'm going. Good. Good. He's had a good summer. Racing.
Yeah, they came through in 11th at McMaster.
Yeah. He would ran the 10.
We interviewed them at the start line. They told us that was their.
I always say that, and then here I am taking pictures of everything. It's fine. I didn't have to get team driving. Going. You and your million teams. I know. Luckily, they're. Okay.
Bert, would you open up my? Okay. Yeah, we'll my iPad.
Media. What kind of media are you? So you get your lunch. Yeah, I'm laughing my ass off watching the ceremony. And they have a French Canadian doing the singing. They couldn't even get their own get the
Right?
I didn't realize. Hello. John and Matt are trying to work through it, Dad. So I have my phone. Yep. I have my phone ready to go just in case because we can see lights on the pond. Okay?
See how high up
All right.
they had.
Yep.
Your computer had Tommy Smart, LSB. Yeah, and then they're at Parmalee, they're 36 right now. I'm looking to see Mike Schlimmer and Ev start to push hard. Mike really loves the water down there.
I'm gonna go. Yeah. I just don't want to get stuck behind a boat, Jake.
So I'm gonna leave this up right here. When this goes red, we're live. And this is like from the watching it side of things, so to speak.
I know. I have to read about it. Yeah, I used to be
Go ahead.
Oh, he must have put a new one in there or something.
Okay.
Because it was there and it went away.
Okay. Matt's working on trying to get that up, but I'm gonna be ready just in case.
Okay, well, I gotta go.
You are. I didn't. That's why I didn't. Yeah, I didn't touch them when you're trying. Whoopsie.
Oh! 214. I had 214.
That's exactly it.
Did you ever drop in and out a little bit when you were here last time? Or was it pretty rock solid? I'm on Starlink because I kept getting like, like it freezes up between the computer and
Think what?
okay.
You say you have a power pack with you, so if I get this phone, yep, or not. I think I want to get this set up. This has got like all the settings.
Excellent. It's on right now.
But alright. I've been doing stuff.
Okay, she's refreshing now.
Okay.
What are you watching?
Oh, wait. Yes.
Oh yeah, she's just missing her red ring account.
Ryan was up here, yes. I don't know where he went.
Okay. Excellent. They get a ton of views for this thing. It is. It is. You guys ready? Yeah. All right, I appreciate it. Thanks a bunch, bye.
I've been going to all the preseason stuff.
Over there.
Yeah, what do you want to do?
John, can I grab this microphone and switch it on?
Okay, you just gotta, you gotta tell me because we have to flip it up here to on because it's gonna switch audio sources. So whenever you're ready.
Bert, do me a favor.
I saw her. I've pretty much seen her. She kind of slipped through it. All of a sudden, we were like,
I will help you here in a minute. Let's just check. If I want to check audio here real quick.
Alright. Oh, perfect.
Are we good, John? Audio wise? We're going to do a quick audio check. We are at Mayo Dam, and we have a couple of boats approaching the spillway here. If y'all cannot hear me, give me a shout out in the comments. But I am hoping you can hear me. So, we have first boat approaching the spillway here, expecting, and it is. This is canoe number 2. So this is Wes Dean Ryan Halstead, first place in at Mayo, and headed up the hill. So canoe number 2, Wes Dean Ryan Halstead, in at Mayo Dam. All right, so we are live at Mayo. We have good news from our crew, the command center crew, I'll call them, that we are live on Facebook, live on YouTube. So we've appreciate you bearing with us as we work through some technical difficulties. Earlier in the race, we had to make the call to just switch to Facebook at McMaster's, but word is that we are live on YouTube, live on Facebook, and we're glad to be back with you, streaming on both the channels. So let's see, gather my thoughts, sorry. Canoe Consumers Energy 76th AuSable River Canoe Marathon going on. We are bringing you live coverage throughout the night from the opening program in Grayling to the checkered flag at Oscoda. So we are, let's see, we're just a little over 5 hours into the race here at Mayo, a little less than halfway. First team is in here at Mayo. That was, of course, the team of Wes Dean, Ryan Halstead, canoe number 2. We can see another light coming across the pond. For those of you not familiar, want to give you a heads up. When you see a light, it's still, when you see one come around the corner, they're still a ways out there. It's going to take a few minutes for them to get here. There's also a lot of teams that run without a light, and in fact, I'm pretty sure I can see one ahead of the boat with the light coming in. So while we have a quick minute, gonna run down. So these are official results from Camp 10 Bridge. These are available to you on the AusableCanoeMarathon.org Facebook page. So if you click into live race results and then choose your timing location, you will be able to see all the information that I have as well. So we'll do a quick top 10 rundown from Camp 10 Bridge. And then I'm super excited to let y'all know that we're going to have some awesome folks joining us this evening for some commentary here at Mayo. So we have Ryan Matthews, statistician, AuSable Canoe Marathon statistician. I refer to Ryan as the knower of all the things, and that's the truth. If you can stump Ryan in AuSable River Canoe Marathon stats, history, or trivia, you win a gold star, because Ryan knows everything. Stats guy. Head stats guy. And then we're also going to be joined periodically from our live stream here at Mayo by Steve Watson. Steve is a 12-time AuSable River Canoe Marathon competitor, finished 6th in 2004. We're going to see Christophe Prue. Christophe has won the AuSable River Canoe Marathon twice, had 8 starts and 7 finishes. Also going to probably hear from Steve Lajoie. That's a name also familiar to probably some of you. Steve's paddled 21 marathons, finished first 13 times. And we might hear from some other paddlers and feeders as well. So we're super excited to have a great lineup for you at Mayo. Want to give a big shout out to all those folks for taking time to join us. Christophe and Steve are going to be kind enough to offer some comments to us in French. So for those of you that might be watching from Canada, from Quebec, French-speaking friends, we're going to get a little bit of commentary from Christophe and Steve in French. So I'm thrilled to have some very seasoned marathon competitors join us and be able to talk to you about their perspective, both paddling and then, of course, strategy and, what their perspective of the race is so far. So thanks for joining us. I think it'll be a good show at Mayo. If you weren't with us at McMaster's, we do plan to be here for all of the teams. So we will be here until the cutoff at 4 a.m. or we will be here until the last canoe comes through. So we are approaching 5 minutes since the first canoe came up the spillway here. That first team to come in at Mayo, of course, was Ryan Halstead, Wes Dean, canoe number 2. And we have at least 2 boats approaching the spillway here. I'm going to... Yeah, at least one with a light off. And I'm going to just bring, so we've got Ryan with us, we've got Steve Watson with us. And before we kind of turn it over and get some commentary running, I do want to take a quick second and give a huge shout out to Halstead Game Processing in Grayling. Rodney and Holly and their sponsorship is what is allowing us to bring this coverage to you. And then also a big shout out to Matt LaFontaine Automotive Group in Grayling. They hooked our little media team up with a sweet ride to get us down the river this year. So thanks to Matt and Christine for helping us out. So we're probably going to give you just rundown of canoes coming up here first. And then once we have places and stuff of these canoes, then we will turn it over for some commentary from our friends here. So at the spillway here, canoe number 97, Danny Paddle Medina, Logan Miner, and this is a 6 minute 20, 6:30.
I got 6:30.
Yeah, Ryan has 6:30. So canoe number 97, Danny Medina, Logan Miner, in second place here at Mayo Dam, 6 minutes 30 seconds behind first place team of Westine, Ryan Halstead. Ryan, obviously Logan and Danny last week with the Spikes Challenge. First place. I know you're famous for saying Spikes is not a real reliable
predictor.
But then they held the pole spot in sprints.
Yeah, they had a really fast sprint, especially that downstream part. But everything I heard, Ryan and Wes switched boats after the Spikes race, and obviously it must have helped. So we're getting close to that lead that can't be shortened, but some of these guys, they excel in the second half, so there's a lot of river left.
Well, and a lot of variables too, right? So still a couple hours of darkness, 3 hours of darkness basically. They know the river pretty well, but stuff does happen. Absolutely, stuff does happen. But yeah, as you mentioned, so 6.5 minutes without something like that. Oh, 3 boats. Yep. So we're going to pause here and catch these next 3. So just to recap, Wes Dean, Ryan Halstead, canoe number 2 in first, Danny Paddle Medina, Logan Miner in second. And here comes your third, fourth, and fifth place team. So 99 Zavarel Willoughby. I missed that. 52, Travis Mecklenburg and Matt Gabriel. And I missed. Did you catch who that?
99 was Ryan Zavarel, Weston Willoughby. 55, Mike Davis, Guillaume Blais. And 52, Travis Mecklenburg, Matt Gabriel Jr.
Okay.
About a minute 45 behind second place.
Can you repeat that, Ryan?
About a minute 45 behind second place.
Okay. So, canoe number 2, Dean and Halstead in first. 6 minutes behind them, Medina and Miner, canoe number 97. And then all packed up, and you said a minute 45 behind second place, canoe number 55, Mike Davis and Guillaume Blais, canoe 99, Ryan Zavarel, Weston Willoughby, and canoe 52, Travis Mecklenburg and Matt Gabriel. So while we have a quick second, sorry, you were going to say something. Go ahead.
I was going to say, if those 3 boats that are running together work together, they can catch second, and maybe all 4 of them maybe can reel in. Yeah. At least try to reel in first place.
So for folks not familiar, I was just going to ask a little bit about pack racing, right, and the benefits of that, and you're kind of leading me there. So when you say a 6.5 minute lead is unsurmountable, but then you say if they work together, what does that mean?
So one team will pull, or they'll lead the pack, and everyone else will rake ride, which allows you to conserve energy, and then they'll switch who's pulling. So 3 teams are always conserving energy, while the team that they're chasing is always at full power all the time. So you got 3, in that pack of, say it's 4 boats, you got 3 of them conserving energy and they're switching off. So as a unit, if they work together, they can push a little harder to try and gain someone who's just all by themselves.
So again, for those who might not be familiar, canoe racing, and especially maybe at the AuSable River Canoe Marathon with the length and the overnight, not just about how strong you are and how quick you can go. A lot of it is about strategy, how you work with other teams or maybe not, so beyond beyond just strength and speed, a lot more goes into success.
Yeah, there's a lot of tactics. I'm sure when you talk to Steve later, he can fill you in on some of the ones that I'm not super familiar with, but there are a lot of tactics with this sport, a lot of strategy. And there's a lot of like friendly rivalries where they don't like working together because, you know, personality differences or whatnot. But this is a very technical sport. You want to be in this top 10, especially. You gotta know how to run a boat. You gotta know how to run with other teams, and you gotta know how to paddle.
Yeah. So, run with other teams. You mentioned the riding them. So it's riding wake, right? It is. That's you hear people refer to riding wake, and not everyone does that, and not everyone knows how to do that well.
That's correct. Some people don't even like people wake riding or wash riding, but there's so many different names for it. But some like just to be by themselves. They don't like the teams behind them, and others like to be side by side instead of single file. And a lot of it's personal preference or how the boats are running when they're near each other. And with the nighttime, if someone's got their headlamp or their light on behind you, it casts a big shadow.
Yeah.
So which is why sometimes you see the following boat with their lights off. So both teams can navigate without a big shadow in the way.
So that was evidenced just as we had that little pack come through. Like you could see easily see two teams, I should say, approaching the wall because they had their lights on. And then, as they get a little closer, you can see that third one emerge totally dark. So lots of different perspective type, or lots of different strategies and different things that teams do to work together or not work together through the night to make things easier. Well, we have a little break here before these next couple of canoes get up to the wall. We've had 5 teams through here. I'm going to try to read through those top 5 teams real quick, and then if you head out to the marathon website, AuSableCanoeMarathon.org, you can pull up the real-time results. I'll try to give you at least through 10th position from Camp 10 Bridge, which is the timing location just upstream from here. So in at Mayo, we have 5 teams so far. First one was canoe number 2, Wesley Dean, Ryan Halstead. They had about a 6.5 minute lead over the second place canoe of 97, Danny Medina and Logan Miner. Third place was Mike Davis and Guillaume Blay. Fourth place, Ryan Zavarall, Weston Willoughby. And fifth place, Travis Mecklenburg, Matt Gamriel Jr. And those last 3 teams came in all together, packed up in about a minute 45, right, is what we said. Roughly a minute 45 after.
With their light off.
Yep. So it's not super easy to see, or it doesn't. Oh yeah, at least 2. Yep, there you go.
The boat behind's got their light on right now, but you can see the paddle splashes of the boat in the front. It looks like they're hitting it really hard to get to the portage first.
Hopefully that translates on. It's hard for us to tell, but hopefully you can actually see what Ryan's referring to on the stream, on the video. But you can. What we can really see, there you go. They are. Yeah, the water is flying, so they're trying to pull ahead just a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
you should start being able to see it right about now. Just those rooster tails coming off the paddle strokes.
This looks to be Kyle Miner and Dane Trudgeon. Yep, Dane Trudgeon. So Kyle Miner, Dane Trudgeon in 6th at Mayo. It looks like they picked up a spot since Camp 10. So they came through in 7th position at Camp 10. And
Mearsman and Jake Krotzer right behind. Kind of easing into the portage here. And usually these guys are really fast runners, so we'll see how they portage here.
So canoe 63, Krotzer and Mearsman in 7th. Ryan mentioned, usually. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been sitting 5.5 hours at this point. Your butt's kind of numb. Your legs definitely need to be stretched, and they try their best as they're coming into the portage here to kick their legs around, trying to get blood back to their legs. But you still get jelly legs when you're trying to run.
That's what I was just going to touch on. So 5.5 hours in a canoe. And this is your first opportunity to get out and stretch. So for those of you unfamiliar with what the race course looks like here, we're 120 miles nonstop from Grayling to Oscoda. Once you do that Le Mans style start, the run to the river in Grayling and put in at the dock there, you're staying put for 5.5 hours till you get here. So that's what Ryan's referring to. The only time that these teams get out of the boat, really, unless there is some extenuating circumstance, the only times they get out of the boat is to Portage the Six Consumers Energy hydroelectric dams. So after you've been sitting for a while and then got to get up and go, it sometimes takes a few minutes to get up and get going for some of them, understandably so. Ryan's done a couple of marathons. Ryan, you've done 2 marathons. Yeah.
Not as fast as these guys by far, but I have done 2. My last one was in 2010, and I finished 45th out of 94. Had a lot of fun that year racing with my dad. Learned a lot too, and that's kind of what started me into the transition into being the stats guy.
You ever going to go back to racing, Ray?
I miss it so much. I'd like to do at least one more while I'm still kind of young, but we'll see. Got to get myself a boat.
So this will be 8th position approaching the wall here. This is, you can maybe hear the call out of Deuce Deuce in the background. Really kind of a loyal following for canoe number 22. Every year you hear from the Banks canoe, or you hear Deuce Deuce. This is canoe number 22 in 8th position, Patrick Madden and Colin Hunter.
Let's go, Colin. They look like they're going strong. Trying to hear what their feeders are saying, but couldn't pick up on it.
So was I. I heard something about Kyle and Dane, but I didn't catch the rest.
Yeah, me either. I couldn't quite hear. But looks like they're going really strong. You know, Colin's a perennial top 10 guy, and Patrick's been in the top 10 the last few years, and they're definitely looking really strong. And they're a bit of a grinder team, which means they don't really fall off the pace as the race goes on. So there's a good chance they could pick off a couple more in front of them.
And Colin's at least an iron paddler, right? Colin is...
He's going for a steel paddler, actually.
Paddler. Okay, Colin's going for steel paddler. So just a little perspective. Iron paddler means you have completed 10 AuSable River canoe marathons.
10 pro.
10 pro, yes. Okay. Ryan's going to get me on all the details. 10 pro AuSable River canoe marathons, meaning you didn't paddle in the amateur division. And then a steel paddler means 20 pro finishes.
That's correct. And for the lucky few so far that have 30, that's the Titanium Paddler Award. There's only a small handful, Lynn Whitty, Bill Tarango, Rick Joy, and Al Whiting Sr.
And we learned, I mean, most of us kind of knew that we're there, but we learned last night at the paddlers briefing, Lynn and Bill both actually approaching, well, Lynn's over 40 finishes. Yeah. And what's our name, Ryan? Do we have a 40?
Don't have one yet. So got to come up with one. Another boat. New. Looks like 2 boats coming in with their lights. That looks like the Belize boys in the boat behind. Looks like Noah and Rich in the boat with the light on. Noah Vanderveen and Rich Loth. Noah from Tawas. Rich from Grosse Isle, Michigan. And then Carlos Linares and Christian Lopez and Canoe 04 in the lime green shirts. They're from Belize.
This is 9th and 10th.
I do believe so, yeah.
9th and 10th positions headed up the hill here. And the Belizeans tearing it up. I mean, we talked to them at the start line. They were very adamant. They have a goal to place in the top 10. They've picked up some spots. I mean, a lot of race left, but they're doing exactly what they told us their plan was.
Yeah, they're in a great spot to complete their goal. Looks like they might have a chance to work with Noah and Rich, or maybe they'll just work, pass them by. They're definitely moving well. They don't look like they're slowing down at all.
And it's a little warmer this year. If you remember from last year, we saw them get ski hats here at Mayo. So that's something we'll talk about here in a bit, too, how the elements can maybe play a part in the race and how that goes for folks. When we got out of the car down at the bottom of Mayo, it said it was 58 degrees. I'm guessing it's a little cooler up here, but tomorrow morning that's all going to switch rapidly.
Oh, yeah.
We have an estimated high I last saw of 87, and so full sun and temps like that.
Down the water, it feels about 5 degrees warmer than that. We got our top mixed team coming in: Edith McHattie and Ivan English in boat 73. From Saskatchewan. And then it looks like Billy T, Billy Taranjo, and Canoe 14 here with Chris Isendorf, Bill from Grayling, and Chris from Texas.
That is 11th, 12th.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So 11th. Yeah, sorry, I'm distracting you. Devin, is that 11th, 12th? Okay, so that's 11th and 12th position. So 12th position overall and first mixed team for Ivan and Edith. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really strong. Edith has won the mixed and women's divisions both, and Ivan, his last time here, had third place overall. So they could scoot.
Strong team. So we're joined now by Steve Watson. Steve was kind enough to chat with us last year. Steve has he's started 12 marathons. He has 11 finishes. He finished as high as 6th in 2004. And Steve, this year and last year, it's unique for us because Steve can provide us a feeder's perspective and then a paddling perspective. So we want to welcome Steve back to the broadcast. And do I see a canoe? I see 2 canoes at least without their lights on approaching the...
Yeah, there's definitely one. I think you're right. There might be 2.
Yeah, there are. So welcome, Steve.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
How's your marathon so far?
It's good weather. I mean, we got clear skies. Like you say, temperatures around 60. I think the paddlers are probably, if they dress, I would say. I mean, it's always 60s, kind of that mark between, do you go long sleeve, short sleeve? Do you go pants or shorts? To me, it's probably short sleeve and shorts kind of night. And you just hope when it gets a little cold, like you said, within an hour or two, it's going to warm up and you're going to feel good. So there might be that pre-dawn time where you might get a little chilly, but they're probably okay right now.
All right, so we have 2 teams approaching the wall here. This will be 13th and 14th positions. Guessing maybe this might be our... Oh, nope, it is not. So this is 13th position, canoe number... Does that say 9?
Number 9.
Al and Pete. Wow, that is a nice...
Very impressive.
Yeah, very impressive pickup for Al and Pete. If I'm not mistaken, Al's 71 years old. So very impressive showing from Al and Pete. And then canoe number 26, that's Christian Charette. And hold on, bear with me, Douglas Dahlman. So, yep, Doug Dahlman and Christian Charette in 13th, 14th. Yep, 13th, 14th there over at Mayo. So, Steve, tell us a little bit about the team you're feeding for and what it means to be a feeder.
Well, it's a headache. It's a lot of there's a lot more emotion involved feeding than there's paddling. Paddling's pretty steady. You get a little fired up in moments like this where you get to get out and see lights and people, but it's a lot more steady. Whereas feeding, it's like you get geared up for when they come in, and then there's a lot down when they go away. But the team I'm working with right now is Jake Krotzer and Matt Mearsman. Jake's in his 4th marathon, and things haven't always gone to plan for him, but he's got a great partner this year, Matt Mearsman, former champion, record holder, all that. When we fed them our first feed, they were in 6th, right on 5th. And next time we saw them, they dropped a lot, and they've dropped some more. So they're really battling out for 7th right now. They didn't really have much to say to me. I thought maybe they weren't feeling well, but they didn't really say much. So it's just maybe the way it's going right now.
So 15th canoe approaching the dam here. This is a rookie team, a young team. Canoe number 16 in 15th position, Kyle Isendorf and Renaud Flagiol. coming in 16. So a couple of young kids. They've done a couple of marathons, both of them, but this is a great showing for this team.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't know who it was when I saw them earlier in the night, but now I do. When they come into these places, they want to dump their stuff. They want to get it out as fast as possible, get on the run. So I'd say, they're going to need to work on trying to be a little more efficient, getting out of the boat. But obviously, youngsters doing great.
So Kyle, obviously, from a paddling family, both his mom and dad competing tonight. So Chris Isendorf paddling with
Second mixed team.
Yep. Yeah. So here's I'll pause here. Second mixed team. This is Mike Schlimmer and Ev Chamberlain. This will be 16th position overall and second mixed team. Mike and Ev were the winners of the mixed division last year. And I got to imagine they have their sights set. I mean, there's definitely a gap there, but I got to imagine they're going to, good job, Steve.
Yeah, getting help from Steve Lajoie there. 100 million time marathon champion himself is down here tonight just watching teams and helping out. So
yeah.
I would agree with you. I mean, hopefully their feed crew is giving them times and so on to the next mixed team. They've got a lot of work to do, but we're only a third of the way into the race right now, or maybe a little more than that.
Yep. Lot of time ahead of us. While we have her here, we have another member of our feed team. Thanks, Steve. We'll see you again soon. All right. So another member, another feed team member, Caitlin Moore, is pitting for her brother, Drew Moore, who's paddling his rookie Sable River Canoe Marathon, and teamed up with a guy who's done a few. So Chris Kaharick and Drew Moore. And Caitlin's a seasoned feeder. She's fed lots of folks. So Caitlin, how is your night going? How's your team feeling?
I would say they're feeling pretty good. They had a good run to the river. Had them about 30th coming through Borchers. Dropped a little bit. I think 44th our first feed, and then dropped a little bit to 49. And then the last time they saw them, I think they picked up about 5 boats. So I think they're on the up and up. Drew seems to be in a great mood. I didn't know what to expect from him, but he seems to be in a good mood, and yeah.
So for a rookie paddler, you never really know what to expect. I mean, whether it's your brother, a 16-year-old, a 40-year-old, this race can throw a lot at you. People handle that type of excitement and adrenaline and potential lows and weather changes and all of that differently. So it's not just getting in a boat and paddling. There's a lot more to it, a lot more to work through than just sitting in a boat and paddling. So good to hear that Drew's feeling good, doing okay. Caitlin, as a seasoned feeder, give us what's it like to be a feeder? So I'll tell you, Steve Watson just told us that being a feeder is way harder than being a paddler. There's 2 canoes at least approaching this wall. So we're going to pause here for a hot second. I'm going to get a place check. So this will be 17th position overall. We have had 2 mixed teams come through already. And then what I might do after this break is just give you a quick rundown, since this will be 17, 18. I believe. Yep. So that lead canoe on the wall, number 98, that's Gaston Jones and Dodd Yeager. That will be 17th. And then I believe, canoe number 70, Rod Shadley and Ben Tarbutton. So Shadley, Tarbutton up first, and then 98, Jones and Yeager. So 17th, 18th? 17th, 18th. All right, so 18 through here. All right, and then we'll try to give you a quick rundown. So here at Mayo Dam, we have 18 teams in. I'm just going to run down here as quickly as I can. So at Mayo, in first position, canoe number 2, West Dean, Ryan Halstead. They had a 6-minute and 30-second lead over second place position, canoe number 97. That's Danny Medina and Logan Miner. Third place and packed up with third, fourth, and fifth. So third place was canoe number 55, Mike Davis, Guillaume Blais. Canoe number 99, Zavarel and Willoughby in fourth. And canoe number 52, Mecklenburg and Matt Gabriel in fifth. And those teams all came together, or all came up the spillway together with about a minute and 30 seconds behind second place. Sixth place, that was... I'm sorry. Number 72, Kyle Miner and Dane Trudgeon. I'm losing my spot here. Yep, so seventh place, canoe number 63. That's Matt Mearsman and Jake Krotzer. Eighth place, canoe number 22, Colin Hunter and Patrick Madden. Ninth place, canoe number 89, that's Vanderveen and Loth. 10th place, canoe number 4, that's Team Belize, that's Lep Linares and Christian Lopez. 11th place, canoe number 14, Eisendorf and Taranjo. 12th place, canoe number 73, this is also your first mixed team, that's Ivan English and Edith McHattie. 13th place, canoe number 9, that's Pete Mead and Al Whiting. 14th place, canoe number 26, that's Doug Dahlman and Christian Charette. 15th place, canoe number 16, that is the all-youth team, Kyle Isendorf and Renaud Flagiol. 16th place, canoe number 78, that's your second place mixed team, Michael Schlimmer and Ev Chamberlain, also last year's mixed division winners. And then 17th place, canoe number 70, that is Benjamin Tarbutton and Rob Shadley. And 18th canoe, and the last one we've had over so far, canoe number 98, Gaston Jones and Dodd Yeager. Thank you for the assist on that, my friend. So this will be 19th place approaching the wall here. So, Caitlin, we were about to talk about what feeding is like, and why do you keep coming back and feeding when I hear that it's harder to feed than it is to paddle?
Well, I haven't paddled, so I don't know if I can attest to that, but I think I believe it. I think you're only focused on paddling when you're paddling, and when you're feeding, you're thinking about people other than yourself, and you don't really know what's going on with them except for a split second here and there. I mean, Mayo is probably the longest time you have to talk to them. It's the longest portage, so you're kind of just playing it by ear and guessing what they want. I don't really know why I keep coming back. I think it's just, it's addicting, I guess.
It's addicting. There is no question it's addicting. So this will be, remind me again, 20th? 19. And this is Jason Hatfield, I believe. I guess I should wait to know for sure. But yes, okay, Jason Hatfield and Guy Rousseau in 19th position here at Mayo. Canoe number 68. I just did. And unless there are some canoes out there with lights off, it looks like we have a little bit of a break in the action. So, couple of things we want to. Nope. So Caitlin was speaking about how really a feeder's job is to be the lifeline for their team. So we mentioned that once canoes get in the water in Grayling, they really don't exit it, except for the 6 hydroelectric Consumers Energy dam portages. So the job of a feeder is really to communicate with your team about their needs, anticipate their needs, really, and be prepared for whatever may come your way. So typically there's a lot of planning ahead of time with a feeder team, with the feeders and the team that they are feeding for in terms of the food they want to receive and when they want to receive it, where they think they might need warm clothes, where they're probably going to want to change back into shorts. But then beyond that plain stuff, you really need to be ready for pain medication, sunscreen, potential issues with the boat that need addressed, potential issues with themselves that need addressed. So last year, I remember we watched a feed team work on the shoulder of a paddler for a good 5 or 10 minutes. Like they were using a therapy gun, massage therapy gun on the shoulder, put KT tape on it, and then they got back in the river and headed downstream. So sometimes that's what it takes to keep your team going. But really, the job of a feeder is to be prepared for whatever your team needs. Caitlin, what's the weirdest food you've ever provided for a team you were feeding for?
A McDonald's cheeseburger at the bottom of Mayo Dam every year.
So that's one we've heard a few times. I'll tell you a couple of if you watched any of our Meet the Paddler series, we had some really interesting answers from some of the paddlers that we interviewed about the weird foods that they like. So sea moss sandwiched between 2 pancakes was one of the answers we heard. Cold hot dogs was another one. Doesn't sound appetizing, but apparently you can get some weird cravings out there. And I've heard lots of interesting things from different teams. So we've got at least 3 canoes. I can see 3 for sure. This is going to be 2021-22 approaching the wall here. So 20th, 21st, 22nd. All right, so headed up the hill. This is canoe number 35. Is that Childs and Smith? Yep. And then canoe number 86, Garrett Ziegler Garrett Ziegler, Jackson Tucker. So that was 20th and 21st. And that was Zach Childs, Dave Smith, and Jackson Tucker, Garrett Ziegler. And then I will say, so sitting on the wall here, they have not gotten out, which I wish they would, so they could at least get their time. This is the boat 08. This is Ryan Stepka, Carson Burmeister sitting in the water here at the seawall. So Stepka and Burmeister, and that actually looks like it might be Steve Lajoie that just kneeled down. Is that Steve? Yeah. So and Chris Prue. So probably no better couple of guys to have in your corner here chatting things through. That's Ryan Stepka in the front. This is Ryan's first DeSable Marathon. We know he has lots of experience paddling, but this is his rookie DeSable Marathon, and you never know what he could be going through. So former multiple time former champion. So Steve Lajoie, who's paddled 21 marathons, won 13 of them, and then Christophe Prue, who's paddled 8 and won twice, both down there having a chat with Ryan and Carson. So both of those guys with lots of experience, enough to kind of chat through. And they are, I think they're coming up the ramp, you guys. So Stepka and Burmeister. All right, Ryan.
Good job, guys.
Yep. So, kind of wobbly walking, wobbly legs, headed up the hill here, which is not uncommon. We've heard from lots of paddlers. Obviously, I can't speak for it myself, but we've heard from lots of paddlers that nighttime paddling can be very disorienting for folks. So, a lot of people have spoken about motion sickness or nausea when you're paddling at night and you don't have like a viewpoint to focus on because it's just dark around you, or even worse, sometimes when you turn on a light and then you're moving quickly without lights around you. So Carson and Ryan have made their way to this top of the spillway, so they have registered an official time, but they have made their way up the ramp to the top of the run here, and they are just kind of pulled off to the side. So if we receive any info about them, we will be sure to update you. But we are currently... let's see if I can count how many lights I see. This is gonna get gnarly here for a little bit, guys. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, at least 10 lights coming across the pond. So this will be interesting. Our last canoe to come up the hill was what position? 22. So 22 teams have come through. And I would guess this is at least 23 through 33. There's more lights every time I look up, I feel like. So it's going to get a little bananas. Caitlin, thank you for joining us. We'll see you downriver.
Yep. Appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
All right. So, like I said, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 lights, and there's a good chance that there might be some boats in the middle of those without their lights on. So we're going to do our best to give you positions and numbers here. Apologies in advance if I don't catch them all, but this will be 23rd position. All right, so first canoe approaching the spillway here. This will be 23rd position. This is canoe number 7. Thought so. So this is Joey Kimzel, Drew Compow. They are followed closely by canoe number 39. That's Flash Marsh and Sean Casey. Right behind them, canoe number 43, Buzzy Hartman and Ted Hill. 39. Right behind Buzzy and Tad. Gonna be, well, let's see here. So I think first one, and it is a backup there at the spillway, but first one up the ramp is going to be canoe number 57, Dan Mecklenburg and John Webb, followed by our third place mixed team. That is Lydia Hulskamp and Hall. Oh, and I missed at least 2 canoes. So first women's team through, that is Cecily Boogie and Michelle Laprade. So that's your first place women's team. And I'll have to give you an overall position here in a minute. So we're just going to keep moving here. I'll go back and catch these for you if I can. 2 more teams approaching here. It looks, and somebody has really wobbly legs. Really wobbly. So coming up the ramp first, this is a familiar face to lots. Andy Trebold and his daughter, Nico. Nico's rookie year. Of course, Andy, a 12-time winner. I think this is his 21st. And then third place mixed team, I believe that was Sarah Lessard. Let me look here real quick. Yes, so fourth place mixed team, canoe number 64, Ed Curley and Sarah Lessard. And that would have been 32nd position overall. So 33rd position here, getting up at the wall, canoe number 15, that's Aaron and Alan Putnam. Canoe 15, Aaron and Alan Putnam. And that is 33rd position, and then 34th position, canoe number 46. That's Trevor Robinson and Michael Fries. Sorry, Michael, if I got it wrong. I must have gotten it wrong at least once. All right. Canoe number 46, Trevor Robinson, Michael Fries in 34th position. So this is 35th position approaching the wall here. Trying to get a boat number on that. This might be Louis Simon Pernod. Oh. Let's see. 29. Yep, I was right. So canoe number 29, Tommy Savard and Louis Simon Pernod in 35th position. So LSP, Tommy Savard in 35th. So 36th position. This is canoe number 3. Canoe number 3 in 46th overall. I'm sorry, 36th overall. And this is another mixed team, Joe Schlimmer and Francis Hiscox. And I lost count a little bit. I think this is 5th or 6th mixed team, and I'm sorry we lost count a little bit. But canoe number 3, okay, 6th mixed team, canoe number 3 in 36th position overall, canoe number 3. Joe Schlimmer and Francis Hiscox. You can see The folks down on the spillway here cleaning up those jugs or drinkers. Wow, those are some full jugs or drinkers too. Somebody, hopefully they had 2 jugs or something, because that, you got to keep drinking. Oh, and here's an interesting, so I was mentioning at McMaster's about people coming up with unique and interesting ways to identify their teams. Oh, they went the back way. Shoot, we're not going to be able to catch them, but those folks just came through with light up bunny ears, flashing bunny ears. So another interesting way to identify for teams where their feeder crews are located. Okay, so a little bit of a break in the action. Looks like another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights out there for sure. I'm going to guess that we missed our opportunity probably to chat with Christoph and Steve. They are feeding teams and assisting lots of other teams too. And I am going to guess that Steve and Christoph probably had to keep moving. So we will try to catch up with them a little further down the river and get the perspective of some former champions and hopefully a little bit of insight from them in French as well. While we have a quick second here, want to give a big shout out. So I mentioned we are a small team. We've got 3 people out here kind of in the weeds, so to speak. But the behind the scenes folks are the ones really that deserve a ton of credit. So couple of folks I want to say a big thank you to, kind of manning the station, so to speak, from home in terms of monitoring live streams and making sure we have audio and responding to the questions and making sure that we're not getting bombed by spammers and a host of other things. So want to say thank you to my dad, Steve, and to Heather, one of the committee members in Oscoda, for kind of making sure that we're up and online from behind the scenes and helping keep things smooth and answer questions from those of you that are watching. So thanks to those folks. They don't get to come out here and have the adrenaline rush that we do, so they deserve extra credit. All right, so 2 teams at least. It looks like a third one without a light. So 2 teams approaching the spillway here. This is going to be 37th position. Canoe number 74. This is Seth and Stephen Miller headed up the ramp. Canoe number 74. Canoe number 30, Chris Cup and Ido Amaran. I am so sorry again if I did not get that right. Canoe number 30, Chris Cup, Ido Amaran in 38th position. And then right behind them, can't get a number on it yet, 81. So Canoe 81, 7th place mixed team, and 39th overall. That's Jeremiah Mink and Jess Kozarek. So 39 teams through here at Mayo. And I don't know if it's just me or if it's really actually happening, but it feels like it's dropped 5 degrees. Yeah, it's cooling down. It'll be interesting to see when we get back to the car. It was 59, I know, when we left the vehicle, but it might be a good 5 degrees cooler. So we were mentioning, we were talking with Caitlin earlier, kind of the role of a feeder. Having something hot when it gets cold is one of the. Oh, guys, I was wrong. Guess who's here and joining us? So, thank you for coming to see us, gentlemen. So we have Steve Watson, 21. Or I'm sorry, I had Steve Watson earlier. I have Steve Lajoie, 21-time AuSable River canoe marathon paddler, 13-time winner, and I have Christophe Prue, 8 AuSable marathons for you, Christophe, and 2 wins. So these guys are multi-time champions of the AuSable River Marathon, and you guys are helping teams tonight. So you are in a different perspective. Tell us about this.
Well, we're trying to help our colleague from paddling. We're trying to make sure that they're going to have a great night and they're still having fun, making sure their feed crew is up to date as well, and we're trying to give our best to cheer for them, trying to give some energy.
Yeah, so we have a nice contingent of Quebec paddlers down here, and you guys probably spend a lot of time with them up there. I'm sure they appreciate hearing a friendly voice. And what's it like being on the other side of things?
It's really fun. It's my first time, and I've been enjoying so far. As you see, I cheer a lot, so my voice not too good, but we try to go everywhere we can and help as much as we can. We're basically following Guillaume and Mike, but trying to give split to everyone that we can and that we know, and here we try to help a few guys. They had problem with lights and other stuff, and so let's do it.
You're doing all the things. Yeah, no, I can't imagine 2 better guys to have in my corner if I was paddling. Speaking of that, we saw you chatting with Ryan Stepka, canoe 8, Burmeister and Stepka. Ryan looked a little wobbly getting out of the boat. Are you able to share with us what was going on with Ryan as he approached the dam?
Well, he started being sick a little bit earlier into the race, so they had to drop out due to illness. It's never easy when you get on that river. If you have something that's a little bit itchy or a little painful, it can become a big problem with being in this environment and pushing yourself. So I think they took the good decision and get out before it gets any more serious.
We've talked to other paddlers who aren't familiar. I can turn, Steve. Let's turn here. Yep. We've talked to other paddlers who have said nighttime paddling, this is unique, right? You don't go to a lot of races and paddle through the night, and nighttime paddling can really create motion sickness. For a lot of folks. Are we thinking maybe that's what was going on with Ryan? I don't want to speculate, but
I don't want to speculate either, but I really don't know what's happening with him. It's at this point we're just happy that seems to be getting better with a jacket on and so we're just gonna make sure that he's staying hydrated and
comfortable.
Yeah,
for sure. So we have an opportunity here. You guys have an opportunity to provide an update to your friends back home in French. We would love for you to kind of share your perspective for your friends back home in Quebec.
Yes, we can do that. So, is this the sheet for today? Or?
No.
Do we have
which part are you looking for?
Well,
you want numbers?
Or the rank here?
Oh, yeah. Well, I have canoe numbers. I don't have names.
So anyway.
Yep. So let me grab this for you. Okay. So this is... Yep. Numbered order here at Myo Dam. So, of course, Westine, Ryan Halstead, 6.5-minute lead over second place, Danny Medina and Logan Miner, and then packed up all together, Davison, Belay, Willoughby, and Zavarel, and then Travis Mecklenburg and Matt Gabriel. So perspective on that?
In English or in French?
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think West looked really good. We ran with him, and Ryan felt good, so I think they're on a roll. So we'll see in the morning how that holds up.
Yeah.
Look pretty good, so I would be surprised if something really changed, but we never know.
Yeah.
As far as the second team seems to be maybe struggling a bit right now. Again, that's my opinion, just the way I see things. And second pack behind, like the pack behind the three boats, there were only two boats after the portage. So I think the fifth boat is on the way down for now. So will he rejuvenate on this stretch or go more down? So I think seems like Kyle Miner and Dane Wood will be
maybe catch them. Is that?
Yeah, catch a lot of ground from here to McKinley. So that's what I'm expecting, but you never know. So
a lot of strategy goes into paddling. We were talking with Steve Watson earlier a little bit about that. 6.5 minutes generally seems like a pretty insurmountable lead unless there's some extenuating circumstance. But when you work together, you have a little bit more opportunity to gain some ground, right? So like pack riding or wake riding or talk to us about strategy.
Well, for us, I mean, Christophe can talk more about it after, but basically it's a good sign that they kept gaining until here. So we'll see in McKinley what is going on, because this is where the race starts really.
Yeah.
So if those guys kept gaining, which that's what we think because they look like really good, then the race is not over yet, but it's going that way.
Yeah.
And so the second team and the pack behind, then we'll see what's going on, and we'll have a better idea in McKinley and Alcona. But that's the strategy normally is. This is the hardest stretch of the race. Nobody to cheer, pitch dark, and then you go to Alcona, and then Alcona to Loud, and then at Loud we'll know for sure.
Sun comes up at Alcona.
Yeah.
Can warm up, maybe feel a little bit better. Christoph, if I cut you off there.
No worries. Yeah, I was about to say, get to Alcona, the sun's come up. Sometimes it gives you some energy that's where it was not present. If there's a pack that organized in the back, even if there's a big lead, there's still a lot going on to the race. So the race is not over yet.
Yeah, a lot of race. We're only a little over a third in, right? A lot of race yet to go. Probably a lot of changing of positions in some of these packs. Maybe not right in the front, but in some of these packs. Any last thoughts? I don't want to keep you guys. I know you got things to attend to, so I don't want to keep you too long. Maybe we can catch up with you down at the finish. But any last thoughts before you go? Any words in French for our friends back home?
On peut faire un petit récap en français. We can do a little recap in French.
Sure.
Donc, en tête de course, il y a Ryan Halstead avec Wesley Dean. Ils ont à peu près 6 minutes 30 d'avance en ce moment à Millau. Derrière, il y avait Danny Medina avec Logan Miner. Par la suite, on retrouvait le premier Québécois, avec Mike Davis, Guillaume Blais, qui semblait en bonne position. L'équipe allait bien. Il était entouré de 2 équipes au moment du portage, de Ryan Zeverall puis Weston Wallaby. Puis un peu derrière, Travis Mecklenburg puis Matt Gabriel. C'est ça qui terminait le top 5. Malheureusement, on a eu Ryan Stepka qui est sorti de la course à Millau à cause qu'il filait pas bien, il était malade. Donc, ils ont pris la décision d'arrêter et de sortir. Au niveau de nos autres Québécois, on a Renaud Flageol avec Kyle Eisendorf qui font une super de belle course. Ils sont présentement top 15, ils sont bien entourés. On a Eve et Mike Schlemmer aussi qui sont pas loin derrière, en fait, qui sont quelques minutes derrière Renaud. On a Sarah qui est passée dans le peloton aussi avec son partenaire Ed Curley, qui était entouré de Vincent du numéro 78. Ouais, dans le fond, là, au mix, en ce moment, on a Ivan English qui premier mix, suivi de Eve et Mike. Puis, en troisième position, c'est Nico Tribble et Andy Tribble. Donc, c'est ce qui se résume pour maintenant. On a eu Michel Laprade avec Cecily Boogie qui sont passés aussi. Et ils sont dans un pack avec des gars. Ça a l'air d'aller très bien. Les filles ont d'énergie. Donc, on a hâte de les voir là, à McKinley.
Faut pas oublier notre Tigre Rousseau national qui est aussi très bien positionné dans, je pense qu'il est 19 à peu près. Top 20 en tout cas. Ça va super bien. Puis désolé, on oublie peut-être, mais c'est pas notre intention. On a de la misère avec les numéros puis les noms.
Gentlemen, thank you both for your time. Very much appreciated. We will see you downriver. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you in Alcona.
See you at Alcona. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yep. Alcona, right?
Yes, Alcona. Yep, we'll be there. Thank you. All right, so, yeah, okay. So, okay, so we missed reporting on some canoes. Obviously, you can see numbers, but we have had 48 canoes come through. This will be the 49th position coming up on the wall here. So we are almost halfway through our pack, halfway through our field. This will be 49, and I will try to run off those numbers for you. Sounds like we missed reporting on about 10 canoe positions when we were talking to Stephen Christoph, but hate to miss the opportunity to talk with multi-time champions and clearly real experts in the sport. So we will do our best to run those numbers down for you, but right now we're gonna try to report at least on the canoes coming up. So canoe number 87 in 50th position. This is 51st position, canoe number 36. That is Mike. That's the Matthews. Hold on one second here. I gotta scroll down my screen. I'm sorry, what was that last canoe number?
Is it 36?
Yes, I think it was. I think. All right, so what position are we at here? Let's reset. 55th. Okay, so 55th, I believe. This is canoe number 93. I can't really see. Okay, 93. So in 55th, canoe number 93, Greg Zophi and Maria Schilling. I'm sorry. Okay, 54th position for canoe number 93, Greg Zophi and Maria Schilling. This will be 55th position. 55th position. This is Peter Heed and Ted Kenyon, canoe number 56. All right, Peter Heed, 56. Pete throwing out a woohoo after he's been in the boat for 6 hours. There's no one more energetic and positive than Peter Heed. We love having him back here.
25.
All right, so 56th position. Canoe number 25, that's Case and Ross Kittle. Canoe number 21, Brandon Girardi and Stephen Leopard. Canoe number 84.
Mike D'Abreu, Sophie Coupal. Mike D'Abreu and Sophie Coupal.
Ryan Matthews is back. Welcome back, Ryan. All right, we got 2 more coming up here.
River Robertson, Rick Goss, I believe is how you pronounce it.
Good.
53. Zach Rochette and Chris Cray.
Zach Rochette and Chris Cray, and then Rick Goss, and yes, and River
Robert
Robertson. And then,
Guys from Maine.
All right. Women's team, canoe number 41, and another women's team. That's Shannon Isendorf and Caitlin Miner, and then Kim Kaiser, Molly Bennion. So,
Couple Texas ladies teams.
Yeah, Isendorf and Miner. All right, ladies.
Go, Kaylin.
All right, Kaylin and Shannon. And then Kim Kaiser, Molly Bennion. So, as Ryan mentioned, 2 female Texas teams running together.
Yeah, and Well, one's getting away from each other on the portage here.
Maybe making a move?
Yep, could be.
What position are we in here? Okay, so 63rd, this is canoe number 5, Owen Treebold and Jake Hartman. Owen, of course, grandson of Turbo Tim, son of Andy, and sister of Nico. So 4 Treebolds competing in the AuSable Marathon.
Doing good, guys. Keep pushing.
Rookie AuSable Marathon for both Owen and Jake. They had a really big tear in their boat. I like 46 inches is what I heard. Yeah, from the Spikes race last weekend. I'm hoping to tell that story. A little bit of a photo story about that after the race. But I'm glad to see them doing well. They had support from the local paddling community to get that boat fixed, and they're back in the water and really looking good for a couple of rookies. I mean, I'm fairly impressed how quick they got up and out of that boat. All right, so this will be 64th position.
4th, 5th, and 6th.
Okay, so 64, 65, 66. Canoe number 65 is that forward canoe. That's the Eckers, Christian and Alex, I believe. Followed by canoe number 42, that's Brian Bears and Allison Marr, also known as Team Crazy and Collected. Oh, a little bit sideways there.
Jelly legs.
Yeah, little jelly legs.
Don't forget the paddle.
Get your paddle. Yeah, he's a little bit.
Bit of a log jam.
Yeah, a little bit of a log jam. So 65, father-son team, Christian and Alex Ecker. Canoe 42, Brian Bears, Allison Marr. And then canoe number 121, this is David Hawkins and Jeff Waters. Jeff's from Texas, I believe, right? Okay.
Yeah, and they're cousins, if I'm not mistaken.
Are they? I did not know that. Okay. And then this will be 4, 5, 6. Is this 67? Okay, 67th position, canoe number 59.
We also have 38 coming up.
And then, 38. Yep. So Turbo Tim Treebold. Yay. Good to see him. We just mentioned Turbo Tim. He's paddling with Mary Schlimmer, Willoughby. Both a couple of folks with a lot of, we call these paddling families. Yep. And actually, we talked with Steve Lajoie and Chris Prue about how much support they're giving this year. They're walking right up the hill here with Mary and Tim. And then canoe number 59.
Hey, Steve.
Judson Steinbeck and Jaya Ellison. And then this will be 69th position, getting up here on the wall. And 70th. So 69th position, canoe number 62. That is Derek Vandenberg and Spencer Opperman. They are followed very closely by a father-son team, canoe number 95, Wally and George Warderick. All right, so Spencer and Derek up to the top here. Ka-chow. Yeah, so this is always a fun team to watch. Father, son, Wally, and George, of course, Lightning McQueen. We actually did another one of those paddler Meet the Paddler interviews with George. We asked him what his hype music was. He says he listens to the Cars soundtrack. I
can
love
see
it.
that. That's cute. I like it.
I love it.
I mean, what better soundtrack than
I know.
I love
it.
Good job, guys. Looking good.
All right, George and Wally. Chris Prue running with George and Wally as well. Chris, so Ryan, you missed it. We spoke with Chris and Steve for a good 10 minutes about how much support they're given here and race strategy. Oh, up the hill here, Mason and Mike Hodnett, canoe number 83. All right, Mr. Hodnett.
He's in the zone.
Yes, he is, but he's going to kick me later for that one. Okay, 71st place. So the Hodnets in 71st, the father-son team, rookies, they've been doing all the MCRA races. If you have been following us at all on our socials, they're doing a great job of showing us what the run-up to the ARCM has been like for them. So we love having that behind-the-scenes perspective of paddlers. We know spectators really like to see it. They've done a great job of sharing their journey with us. All right, canoe number 45 on the top of the spillway. This is Mark and Ron Koenig, and this is Koenig. Okay, thank you, Ryan. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you also, Alexis. 72nd place, the Koenigs, canoe number 45. Two more canoes real close to the spillway here at least, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lights I can see out beyond there. Small note, we do have a cutoff time here at Mile of 4 a.m., right?
Yep.
And we have 72 teams through. And do you have an official report, Ryan, on how many drops?
I believe last I looked, we still have 4 drops, although I don't know the status of Canoe 08. They were very slow to getting out here.
So we did receive a report from Steve and Christoph that they were dropping. I don't know that that has officially been registered, but dropping due to illness.
Well, that's unfortunate. They were one of those top 10 teams that were, heavily favored by the fans.
A lot of folks. All right, canoe number 33, I believe, if I'm reading that right.
And canoe 60.
All right. So, canoe 60, Adam Blanchard, Rebecca Sutter, and then canoe number 33, Pam Fitzgerald, Neil Sand. This is your 71st and 72nd positions.
Let's go Blanchard. Let's go Sutter.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if the microphone picked it up, but the report there, hands hurt. Yeah. So everything
really hurts.
Yeah, everything probably really hurts, but a couple of things that might really, really hurt more than others. Hands and butts.
Hands and butts, especially if your hands get wet, they start blistering up pretty quick when you get your hands wet.
Yeah, and then potentially break those open, right? Which, ugh.
Yeah, plus if you're gripping the paddle too hard, that'll make your hands hurt too. Yeah. I know I've heard some stories of paddlers, their hands almost go numb because they're gripping way too hard and pulling way too hard. But, I mean, this is the marathon. Everyone's going hard, so. But, yeah, your butt's hurting for sure. 6 hours of sitting in one spot pretty much, and,
And then you're only up for 2, maybe. I mean, that's how quick you are.
Yeah. You got with your leg drive too. You got a lot of your butt's moving on those seats. So your sit bones are constantly moving on, the seat padding and stuff. So it really wears down, it makes your butt hurt, which is why you see so much padding on some of these seats to help with your sits bones. Yeah.
This will be 75? 75th? Is that right?
Yes.
75th. Okay, 75th position. Hold on.
John Zakarski and Bruce Damon by the looks of it. And 67.
Okay. And then canoe number 50. That one's clear. Matthew Wigton, Bridget Delio.
And another one coming in here with... Let's go, Bruce. Let's go, John. Cook Brothers, I believe.
Yeah, Braden and Dawson. So this is another team that we've watched quite a bit on our socials. Rookies, Braden and Dawson, sponsored by Dark Horse Brewing. They've done a great job of promoting these guys and showing us the behind the scenes too. So glad to see them doing well. I know they have a really strong following, and I'm sure they're going to be glad to see Dawson and Braden looking pretty good for a rookie team. Yeah, father-daughter team, Mike and Natalie Kellogg here of the Kellogg Racing family, and then followed very closely by, Wade Binion and Lynn Whitty. So Lynn Whitty.
Wade's going for his iron paddler, and Lynn's got 40-plus finishes already. A couple of savvy veterans, and still looking good.
I distinctly noticed, though, that Wynn is not yet in a cowboy hat. She and I talked. She better be busting that cowboy hat out when the sun comes up.
Wade said it's coming as soon as the sun comes up.
Perfect. All right, Lynn Whitty. Get it, girl. Oh. So cutoff time, we have 21 minutes. Cutoff time here at Mayo is 4 a.m. We know we've got 5 drops, meaning 95 teams left in the race for sure. Maybe a few less than that, but 95 in the race for sure. And we have 79 through here. So 16 teams still left to come across the pond. Ryan, I mentioned earlier that when you start to see lights, they're still a ways out. Approximately when we see lights, how much time do they have to get here?
Oh, I think that's a good question. I know when we start seeing the lights, it's when they start coming out of what we call the stump field. I've also heard it called like the graveyard and stuff. It's just an area of Mayo Pond where there's a ton of stumps. And there's only 1 or 2 specific paths through them. I believe it's about a 5 to 10 minute paddle from here. I don't really know off the top of my head. I'd have to look. But it is really nice seeing them all come right at us and kind of like the train going on. So looks like we got another pitch to battle in the second group there. 2 lights side by side.
Well, and so I can just see that behind this lead canoe with a light, there's at least 1 canoe, light off. Yep, to their right. I think it's only 1. But that makes it, let's see, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll be approaching like maybe 10 canoes still out there beyond what we can see to hopefully make it before cutoff.
How many are in?
Should be your 80th boat.
80. Yep. Oh, I might need a drink of tea. Do you mind holding this for me for us?
Oh, talk about whatever I want. That's a scary proposition.
Keep it above brow, Mr.
Oh, okay. Well, there's still a lot of river left. And,
we know 5 for sure.
5 for sure, yeah. We couldn't see the canoe number coming up. The light's pretty bright. Oh, this is Tucker Mertez and Josh Taylor.
Josh Taylor.
Yes. Josh hasn't raced in a number of years. It's good to see him back in a boat. I think he took about an 8-year hiatus. Could be more.
Jaden Fisher and Jaden Russell and
Anthony Fisher. Yeah, they were rookies last year and came back this year. A couple young guys. Yeah, it looks like they might have maybe tipped over. I see some drying shirts from up here, but it's hard to tell.
Nice work, Jaden. Keep it up.
They look good. They look good. That's my bad.
Still got water in the boat.
Yeah. We got a couple more coming in here. 17 by the sounds of it.
Borderline, Nikki Rice Owens. Jerry Lambert, Della Lambert, canoe number 82. So
yep.
17 and 82.
Well, they're neck and neck coming in. Looks like the wispy fog's starting to hit.
Yeah.
And almost always hits around Mayo, just with the warm air going over cool water. It's a pretty clear night, though.
You can feel the temperature dropping.
Yes, it has definitely dropped at least 10 degrees since I've gotten here. And at the bottom of Mayo, where they put back in the water, it's usually 5, 6 to 10 degrees colder still from where we're standing.
So, Ryan, one of the things that we talked about a little bit with Christoph and Steve was, the race kind of doesn't start till now for a lot of folks.
In a way, yes.
But also that this next stretch from Mayo to McKinley can be like a make or break situation for folks.
It can. It's in the top 3 of what I call the most important stretches of the river, especially if you want to be, high performance, trying to have a good finish for yourself. It's got some shallow sections between Mayo and McKinley, some technical areas, a lot of riffle pools, as I recall, and if you know where to go and hit it hard, you can put some time on the teams behind you, or you can make up time on the teams in front of you. The other most important river sections I would call Alcona the Loud. There's just so many blind turns on that stretch, and then you come into Loud Pond, and it almost always seems like you have a headwind in Loud, and it's really suck water because it's a weedy, stumpy pond, and you can really put up some time there too. And I think the other most important stretch, I know a lot of paddlers disagree with me on this one, but foot to the finish line. If you're within a few minutes of a team coming into foot, you know where to put the boat and know what corners to hit hard below foot and which ones to save energy on, you can make up lots of minutes.
So lots of those spots you mentioned, opportunities to really gain, right? Maybe make a move and make some gains. One of the things that Steve and Christoph mentioned is this stretch from Mayo to McKinley is also dark and cold, and you might be alone. Also very prone to fog.
Yes, it is very prone to fog. The fog usually starts rolling in about halfway. I'd say about Cummins Flats there, which is about halfway between Mayo and McKinley. If there is going to be fog, it's going to start rolling in then. Or if it's a really cold night, it would already be foggy at Mayo. But
just a little bit, right? Like we can see a little wispy fog. I know last year we had reports in the chute from paddlers who said they were actually paddling upstream and didn't realize it after Mayo.
Yeah, the air temperature last year was so cold. It was really thick fog about the 4 feet above the water, which is where everyone's paddling in. And in areas it does this tornado-y, wispy effect, and it can really throw off people's balance and their equilibrium if they're in it so long. And obviously you become disoriented and might end up going the wrong way, especially if you aren't really paying attention to which way the current's going.
Well, also can be really, for those folks prone to motion sickness, that can be like...
That too. Especially with a really bright light with a blue tint to it, like the cool temperature tint to it, it can really give you some motion sickness.
So this is the 84th team, canoe number 47. Yeah, Jeff DeFeo, Tina Pham. Jeff, how many? Do you know off the top of your head how many marathons? Jeff's had a lot of marathons.
More than 20. He's a steel paddler. Okay. Actually, handy dandy notebook here.
Here we go. Ryan's got all the things.
Yeah. Let's see, 47. Jeff has 23 starts, 21 finishes. Let's go, Jeff.
All right, Jeff and Tina.
Keep it up. Good job.
Is that Amy Solak
It
feeding?
is Amy,
Okay.
yeah. Yep, Amy Solak.
Feeding forever and racing too. Yep. She's from one of them paddling families, the Smutek family. Daughter of Frank Smutek, who has the longest racing career in the marathon's history. Frank did his first race in 1952, if I remember correctly, and had a span of 60 years of racing, and very incredible.
Yep, that's incredible. incredible. We actually, Tad Hill in his Why I Hop All Night told us, he does this because it is a sport that you can do for so long into such an advanced age, stay in good shape, stay competitive. We mentioned Al Wedding Jr., I think he's 71. Yep, 71 and running in top 10. I mean,
Bill Taranjo's in his 6th season, he's 12th or so.
Yeah.
3 a.m.'s catching up with me.
No yawning. Yawning is not allowed.
But yeah,
it's contagious.
It's relatively low impact sport. As long as you take care of your shoulder joints, you can have a really long career in this sport. And it's not always about brute strength. So, some paddlers can have a really fast race, even well into their 60s and 70s. Ken Collins was 69 and finished in the top 10. So, which is incredible because the top 10 here is a lot of fast paddlers.
Yeah, a lot of young bucks, as they say, in very tippy top shape, so to speak. And you mentioned top 10 for Ken Al Wedding Jr. opportunity here to finish in the top 10 as well as 71.
Yeah, Al Jr. is with Pete Mead, who's one of the better paddlers in the second half historically. And Billy Taranjo's with Chris Isendorf, who is one of the best ever second half paddlers. Chris just doesn't ever seem like he slows down or drops off the pace. Kind of like Mike Davis in that way too.
What is it with those Texas guys? There seems to be a lot of them that pick it up in the second half. Like the sun comes up, they get warm, and they're just ready to roll. I don't know.
Maybe they need the heat to paddle fast because that's what they're used to. I don't know. But I don't know. Chris just loves to paddle. He'll paddle with just about anybody, and he can go fast.
So canoe number 58, I believe, Dan Harrison and Louis Medill.
94 is the other boat.
And then canoe number 94, that's Rodney Elliott and Jacob Kramer. So what positions here? 85th, 80, 86. So Rod Elliott and Jacob Kramer in 85th, you said? 86th position. Okay.
So we got about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We're just seeing some lights coming out of the stump field, so some of these teams might be hugging the deadline pretty close. The cutoff time, pretty close.
That was why I asked that question earlier, because we are 9 minutes now away from cutoff, and I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 6 lights, possibly some running without lights in between there. Ryan estimated maybe 5 to 10 minutes when we see them turn the corner and can physically see the light until they actually reach the dam wall here. And of course, it's different for everybody depending upon their pace. So you might have heard the timer across the way here. Give them a shout. Hustle it up if you want to make the cutoff.
Yeah. Generally, though, if teams are able to make the Mayo cutoff, as long as nothing substantial happens to them, they have the speed to make it to Oscoda. So this cutoff tends to be one of the harder ones for teams to make, kind of by design, because past here there's a lot more ponds, and you want to keep the safety crews moving downstream, and you don't want teams who may be sick kind of lost on the big water of a pond.
Yeah, so that's something to note for any of you that might be awake at 3:52 watching a canoe race that are not familiar with the AuSable Marathon and kind of the territory of the river. The upper end of the river, real tight, and the ability to have 2-3 boats comfortably wide, really difficult in some spots. And then as you approach this, it widens out, right? It widens out, a little bit, 20-ish miles out of town. You can easily run 3-4 boats wide without a problem. But then as you get down to these Consumers Energy hydroelectric dams, it becomes not really what looks like a river. They look like they're called ponds, but they really are lakes. I mean, people are running recreational watercraft like speedboats, pontoons, the whole thing.
And I've heard from some out of state paddlers, in any other state they'd be called lakes, but with Lake Huron so close, that's a lake to us. So these are all these are all backwater ponds or dam impoundment ponds. But essentially, yeah, they are a lake.
Yeah. So you no longer have much of a current working with you. You are, in some cases at least. I mean, there's current in some areas. So this is 27 Andy Weeks and Patty Thornburg in 80 time, place check 87th. Okay. 87th position for canoe 27, Andrew Weeks and Patty Thornburg. This is 06, and maybe you can help me pronounce Chris's last name.
Kalbflesh.
Okay, and Ursula Littrell.
Yep. Let's go, Chris. Let's go, Ursula.
Keep it going. Go get him! Good job, Sid.
Yeah, Ursula started racing a few years ago, and she's steadily gotten much better each year. And I believe Chris lives not far from her, and they train together and obviously race together. So
cool. They're down in like Escoda-ish area.
Curran and Mayo.
Okay. Curran and Mayo. Okay.
Yep. It's kind of home water for Chris right here, so maybe they'll have a really good section here.
88.
I can't see the boat number though.
Said 88. So this will be 89th position, and we believe it's canoe number 88. Oh no, it's not 88. Yeah. So this is a all-female team. Canoe number 24, Emily Short and Josie Vanderveen. Yeah, sisters. That's true. Josie, wife of Noah. And Noah's having a great race.
Really good race.
Yeah,
he's made huge strides in the last year, and this is his first year kind of racing up in that top 10, and he has a really good mentor with Rich Loth, and they're having a heck of a race.
And Emily's first race. Josie's paddled one or twice. Okay.
Both times with Noah.
So it was husband, wife. It's now sister. Love that. All right, Josie and Emily.
They're in the zone.
Yeah. And I don't blame them.
No, I mean, you get so focused on just trying to make the boat go and communicate to your feeders what you need so you can keep going. It's right in the zone.
1, 2, 3, 4 lights and 4 minutes. So I think undoubtedly we are going to be in the territory. Yeah. Very likely that we'll have a couple of teams here that probably do not make this Mayo cutoff.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. There's a bunch of folks. So we will be, while we have just a minute here, we'll be dropping the live feed here right at the cutoff at 4 o'clock. So our live feed will be done here at 4 a.m. That is the official cutoff time here in Mayo, and then we'll be picking up at Alcona next. So plan to see us at Alcona about 5-ish, yeah, 5-ish at Alcona.
First teams usually get to Alcona just after 5 a.m.
The sun comes up, and it's like a whole new perspective for some people. So this is canoe number 00. This is father-daughter team, Doug Delio and Josephine Delio. Before we drop off, so we got 3 minutes here Before we drop off, I do want to give a final shout out to our friends at Halstead Game Processing. There's two right there with 2 minutes.
2 and some, less than 2 now.
Yep. And at least one that certainly is not going to make it here. So shout out to our friends, and it is worth saying it's not just when they're up on the ledge; they have to be up here, right? Official timing. Oh, bottom. Okay, so bottom of the ramp. Oh God, don't do that! Don't. Oh gosh, bless America. That made me nervous. Never know how deep it's gonna be. All right, so canoe number 88. This is the Iserts, Ryan and William.
And Dan and Owen Sherman.
Oh, and then Dan and Owen Sherman.
Good job, guys.
1 minute to go right now.
All right, canoe 23, Dan and Owen Sherman. And literally with seconds left, literally. Oh God, dropping a boat. There you go. There you go.
You're good.
And it's still 3:59. Still 3:59. So they made it, and anybody behind them will not.
Most likely no, not unless,
No.
an
is
act
the
of
answer.
God.
No is the answer.
Yeah.
All right, so it sucks. That's like I can't imagine putting in the time, the training, the work. I mean, just the emotion. I just can't even. It's got to be gut wrenching. And we do have at least one team taking a break over here. Iserts? No.
No,
Sherman. Okay. Looks like they're working with something in the boat. Yeah, it's 4. Yep.
Who's still left? I don't know.
Well, I don't know who's dropped. So, that's probably, it's either 20 or 48, right?
About 20 or 48
Yep.
may still be, unfortunately, out on the pond here that is going to miss.
So Foley, Kogelman, or Ide and Crouch. Okay, Ryan's got to go. We'll see you downriver. We're going to call it quits here as well, and then we'll pick back up with you down at Alcona around 5. So looking forward to sun coming up, and we will be back with you soon. Thanks again to our live coverage sponsors, Halstead Game Processing of Grayling, and also to Matt LaFontaine Automotive for hooking us up with the ride. See you soon. Oh, okay, where's my OU at my headlamp? Where's your headlamp?
Here, take this. Pull that generator down.
Okay. So we need to power down. Or they do something. 5536 5757 5859 Michael, how much time over are we?
1:30.
So, a minute and a half? Yeah. All right.
2 minutes once they pull that out.
Yeah, it'll be about 2 minutes.
Are you able to still take the time?
Listen, we have, if it can wait, can I call you back? It is what it is. Yeah. I think they're both still running, aren't they?
I mean, it is
Just
what
you
it
two?
is.
You're sure?
Well, Annette, you want?
Okay.
What?
Yeah, still running. Okay, John's logging back in.
They
We're
want to.
losing
They
power.
want to at least get us. So we're trying to get it all down.
They want to come up where?
They want to at least
Okay.
get their time to.
Well, there's
Yep,
no
okay, John's
clips.
working on it.
They don't get a time.
Okay.
Kayla.
I know.
Okay.
7 hours.
Yes.
you. Nope, I think we're good. Thank you.
I mean, where she was at this point. I mean, I don't know what she meant. I thought, well, there's another cutoff.